Hello, people, and welcome to the end of the year movie and rock award show. We got Rock and Mike here, and we got the vampire of all clowns. We got Clown Con, goddammit. And we have an exciting show for you today. We'll be talking about two movies today. We'll be talking about Blazing Saddle and the great Holy Grail by the Monty Python.
Monty Python, yes.
Two great.
Bear with me a second here, guys.
So Scott, Clown Con, how's your year been? Eating children and all that other stuff.
Well, it's a few less children this year because they're all in hiding, but they're still very delicious. I love them all. I love children. They taste delicious.
So what do you think about these two movies we're talking about today?
Two great influential movies in my world, in my my life of comedy. Both Monty Python and Mel Brooks have been a great influence on me and my own personal style of comedy. So this is why I love that we're doing both these movies.
Yeah, these two are, I think they're recognized as two of the greatest comedy films ever made. Right. They're definitely two of mine. But even Mel Brooks has admitted he could never make this film today.
No.
Could never do it.
Blazing Saddles, there's no way.
No way. And even the Monty Python guys, I forget if it was John Cleese or Eric Idle. One of them said how, nobody has a sense of humor anymore. We could never do what we did 50 years ago now.
Right. I think there's been a recent theme of John Cleese, a lot of his tweets and things he's talking about. And John Cleese in particular has been kind of been very vocal recently about how like political
and I don't want to get into all that, but I just mean like I think he's right in the sense that this kind of humor, which is really satire beyond satire, okay, it's satire squared, and people just don't really get that so much anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, it was when they came, especially came into America with what they were doing. It took some time, especially producers, because they talk a lot about how when they, because they had already established themselves in England with the Flying Circus.
Right.
Started to try to bring that into America. There was some.
Well, what's interesting is when they started to bring it here with the show, and then I think what was it the right before the Holy Grail, they had done like and now for something different, which is like really just a compilation of
their sketches.
Stuff from the show, right?
Yeah, they just took their sketches and put it in the film.
Yeah, which is, it's great, but if you watch the show, you saw it already. But what they did, I thought was very interesting, at least for the time, is that they immediately went to public broadcasting, PBS.
That was my introduction to them.
Yeah, no, we all saw it that way because that was the only way to see it. Monty Python, the show, wasn't on anything as far as I know.
Right on.
That I can remember. I remember Benny Hill being on Channel 9, but not Channel 13. Monty Python was on 13.
But you know what? Monty Python was later on. They had a show. It was Monty Python. They had the Benny Hill show on Channel 9 later on. After a few years,
did they put it on regular Channel 9? I don't remember that.
They put it very late,
yeah,
but
late at night.
Made it, yeah.
Yeah, they had a very right on PBS. Had a very late, and it was the Flying Circus.
Well, the PBS, the reason they went with PBS was they wouldn't cut the material. They would put it out the way it was released. Okay.
Yeah.
They had when Monty Python and the Holy Grail came on regular TV for the first time, like a few years after it was out, they cut the hell out of it. And it was the only time it was ever shown on regular TV.
Right on.
You know, but let's get into Blazing Saddles, okay? Because that's really the one we got to talk about first.
Okay,
dude, can I tell you guys a little history about this? You know that Richard Pryor was supposed to play the sheriff,
right? Sheriff Clark,
but he had that problem with the movie theater and this and that with the company. He had a problem with the company.
They thought he was too dirty to do that kind of, part.
So,
but however, Cleveland Little took it over, but Richard Pryor still, and you can because I just rewatched it yesterday, just because I hadn't seen it a little bit.
Yeah,
you can very much hear and feel the Richard Pryor influence in it.
Absolutely, just without all the motherfuckers. Okay, he's in there.
It was very. I mean, it was very, very Richard Pryor, and I know that he did work on developing the character,
and he did get a writing credit.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he was a screenwriter.
Yeah. But a couple interesting things. The guy who really conceived the screenplay was a guy named Andrew Bregman. Okay, and he was originally writing a screenplay called Tex X, which was a takeoff of Malcolm X. Okay, so if you can imagine where that would have went, okay, Malcolm X Western, I don't know.
Okay. Fantastic.
And originally, Alan Arkin, the great Alan Arkin, was slated to direct it. Like you said, Rob, Richard Pryor was going to play the Cleavon Little part.
Yeah.
And it kind of fell apart like things do in the beginning sometimes. And Mel Brooks somehow heard about it. I think he was friends with Bregman, and basically said, I'm interested in this. He still wanted Richard Pryor to play,
right?
But he couldn't convince the studio to do it. There was like no way that was happening.
Right.
Yeah, he was the studio. That's what it was.
Now the Waco Kid, Gene Wilder, right? Do you know who was slated to play that first?
Yeah, actually, no.
You're not going to believe it. John Wayne.
Wow.
Okay, and John Wayne read the script.
Uh-huh.
What were you going to say, Scott?
But my question was, even after Mel Brooks took over the project?
Yes.
Still John Wayne?
Yeah, no. His first pick was John Wayne. Okay, when Brooks took over, and Wayne read the part. He thought it was great, but just not the way he described it, he said it was too blue for his image. But he said he promised Mel Brooks he'd be first in line to see the movie if he made it. Right. And also, I don't know if you remember the actor Gig Young.
Of course I do.
Okay, he was going to play that part. That was the next person in line. Okay. But he showed up first day of shooting or rehearsals or whatever it was. The guy had a serious drinking problem and just couldn't get it together. So I don't know if he was lumped up, basically.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
My favorite guy was Slim Pickens. What a fucking name.
Oh yeah. And Slim Pickens is fantastic in that movie.
I love Slim Pickens.
Oh yeah.
And I love it. Anytime I see his credit, in a film, I'm like, I'm going to see this movie.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you got to love him in Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove.
Dr. Strangelove, just
nobody could ride a bomb like him.
He made his name, doing as being a character actor in serious westerns. The kooky guy because he had a great voice.
Yeah.
But then when it came to comedy, he just was super brilliant.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. And what's so funny about this movie too is the kind of like double parts that people play.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did Mel Brooks play?
So Mel Brooks played
the
governor He played the governor. He played the director.
Yeah, at the end. Yeah.
He played what else? He was like a couple roles. I mean, he's like, I'm Mel Brooks. I'll just, you know what? I'll just do it myself.
And so many things in that movie, you know, you could watch it 10 times, and I've probably watched it 50 times.
Dude,
but
he played the governor, and he also played the Indian chief.
The Indian chief, that's it. Yes,
the
yes. Jewish Indian. Yeah.
That Indian chief speaking Yiddish.
Yiddish, yeah. And then he goes, they're darker than us. Terrible.
It's great.
I mean, you know, that's poking fun at everything. Okay, you know, something like that. He pokes fun at everybody. But did you ever notice how everybody in the town is named Johnson?
Right.
Then they're talking about a guy, a guy that tried to fuck with people in the. They were talking about a guy that was fucking people in the town, and his name was Richard Dix.
Right.
Richard
Dick Dix.
Dude, you had Dr. Sam Johnson. You had Harriet Johnson. You had Van Johnson, Howard Johnson, Reverend Johnson, and then you had Ocean Johnson. There were so many Johnsons. Like
Howard Johnson.
This was very a dick pic kind of thing.
Yeah. Howard Johnson. It was an ice cream parlor that he ran.
Right, and of course, in true Mel Brooks form, one flavor.
Yes, one flavor. Right.
Dude, there was one guy that was dressed as
one
Hitler.
flavor.
Did you see that? The one guy that's dressed as Hitler, and the one that's just a guy dressed as Hitler.
Yeah.
I tell you this thing: if it's a Mel Brooks film, Hitler is going to make an appearance somewhere in the movie.
He usually does. He's kind of like Zelig, you know. He shows up in all different movies.
It's going to be Hitler and some Nazis somewhere in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, the scene with Madeline Kahn, where she does her routine, okay, is just face it, I'm tired. From the waist down, I'm kaput.
And of course, one of my favorite lines, and I have used this myself.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir. Are you in show business? No. Then get your feet off my stage.
Exactly. But when she did the part, when she auditioned for the part to Mel Brooks, they had never worked together before, and of course they would make Young Frankenstein later on that same year. Okay,
that was
fantastic. But I don't think they had worked together at that point, and she was auditioning, and he asked her, "Can I see your legs?" And she said, well, I didn't know it was that kind of audition, you know. And he says, no. He goes, I'm a happily married man. Trust me. I just want to see how your legs look straddling a chair. Okay, because what he was doing in that scene, for people that maybe don't know, is there's a movie with Marlene Dietrich called Destry Rides Again, and that's, you know, it's really like her whole character. What is it? Von Stoop. Okay. Actually, it's Von Stupp, and you know, Yiddish for you know what Stupp means. Okay. If you're from New York, you know Stupp means like you know you did it. You know. But that whole scene is really just a takeoff from Destry Rides Again with Marlene Dietrich, and Madeline Kahn is so great in that movie, in that character, because she really just takes the funny little nuances about Marlene Dietrich, like her accent, okay, and just amplifies it, and it's just funny. You have to like. It's kind of like an inside joke. You got to appreciate it.
And puts that little lisp into it.
Yeah, that little lisp. The way she would say like a W instead of a V or something.
Yeah,
you know,
fantastic.
Yeah. Now, do you guys know who's going to play Hedley Lamar before Harvey Korman?
No idea.
No.
Johnny Carson.
What?
They were considering Johnny Carson for that part.
Right on.
I don't know if that would have worked. Maybe.
I don't know. Johnny Carson is an actor. I've never seen him in anything but, you know, doing a show. So
he's a TV guy. Yeah, I guess he did. I'm trying to think. Did he ever do movies? He must have had cameos. I don't know.
He probably had camera, but he never really did like a full. He wasn't a guy that would do movies, but people liked him, and some guys would put him in. He was Johnny Carson. What the fuck, you know?
Right.
That's interesting. Yeah, hard. I mean, the film is, and for me, vaudeville is. I'm a big vaudeville fan. I've studied vaudeville my life, and this is what I love about Mel Brooks and his style, and especially in his early films, especially this one, where basically the film is a vehicle to go from shtick to shtick.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's vaudeville acting done in a movie.
Right.
Really, right. It's just one setup after another.
How about this guy, Count Basie, playing
himself? Yeah,
I'm a huge Count Basie fan.
Of course. And when you see Cleavon Little riding past him, and he just tips his hat to him, it's funny.
My favorite thing is when we finally realized that the sheriff is black. All those in the windows that came in was fantastic.
Oh yeah. Who played that cranky old man that says that?
The preacher?
No, not the preacher. The guy who's ringing the bell. The old prospector guy. The old
was it Gumshoe?
Yeah.
Oh, Buddy Bizarre.
Okay. I always, for a while, I thought it was Mel Brooks because he kind of looks like him a little bit.
It might have been him.
But it's not. It's not. I know it's not. But that guy's, he's like, gosh darn it.
You never know what he's saying.
Yeah, he's drunk, like Popeye. He mumbles,
The sheriff is a what? The sheriff is a who? The sheriff is black.
Now, when they had the world premiere to this movie, well, actually, at first, they made the movie, and the studio almost didn't put it out. Okay, they played it for the studio executives, the big shots, and they didn't laugh. Okay, and they said to Mel Brooks, "We'll put this out, but we're gonna take a loss on it, and that's okay." And whatever. I guess they were accepting that. Okay. But, because he was probably, he had success with the producers a couple years earlier. I don't know. What did he do in between? I don't know if he did anything in between movie wise.
Oh, I can't think.
What was in between Blazing Saddles and the producers? I don't think any films. He was working on TV stuff, I think.
Right.
He actually did Get Smart.
He was doing
That was a little bit earlier. Yeah. He did Get Smart.
When the History of the World came out.
No, History of the World is like 1980, man. That's later. But, he had Young Frankenstein to do. I'm sure the executives knew he was making that.
Yeah.
But he convinced them to do like a test run in New York, L.A., and Chicago. And what they did is they had 3 test audiences, and they loved it.
Right.
They loved it. They were cracking up. So the executives were wrong. They said, okay, we'll put it out. And when they released it on February 7th in L.A., it was at an actual drive-in called the Pickwick Drive-In in Burbank, California, right near L.A., Burbank, California. Okay? So as a promotion, Cleavon Little and Gene Wilder were at the drive-in on horseback watching it.
Right.
With the whole crowd. How cool is that?
They were on horseback?
The 2 of them were on horseback. Everybody else was in their cars. It was a drive-in. Yeah.
I would have loved to see that.
Yep. Drive-ins were I'm kind of hoping that with COVID they would have come back a little bit. They were a little bit, right?
It seemed like I thought something like that was going to happen. My first memory of a drive-in when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is a little off subject, but my dad took me and my family. I was really, really young. to see Planet of the Apes.
I have in the original, the 68 one.
The original,
yeah,
68.
Yeah.
One
of the greatest movies ever made. The first two are epic. Okay, but that's funny because years later in the 80s, there was a drive-in theater out on Long Island in Bayshore. Okay, and I went there for an all-night screening of all the Planet of the Apes movies, one after the other.
What?
And it started at like sunset, whatever that was, 8:00, something like that. Okay, on a summer night. All right, and went until the next morning. We were there all night. I mean, it's 5 movies. Figure 10 hours.
Wow.
We were there from like 8 at night to at least 6 in the morning. Okay, and it was incredible.
What was the other Planet of the Apes? The one with the nuclear bomb.
That's the second one. That's Beneath the Planet of the Apes. That's fantastic. I just watched that recently. I love that movie.
That one is great because the Bron Charleston he
at
dies.
the end.
At the end, it's crazy, man.
Well, he blows up the world.
Yeah.
they have the whole collection. I think it's on HBO Max or something.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I'm actually it's in my queue to watch because that's what I've been doing a lot of during this whole pandemic is rewatching this whole series of films and like rolling them together. So.
Yeah.
You know what's one of my favorite scenes when Bart first meets Gene Wilder's character.
Right.
And he goes, "You see this hand?
Yeah.
Steady. But this is my shooting hand."
This is my shooting hand. He's like that. I know.
With the shtick.
Yeah.
How great
now,
was that?
another interesting little bit of trivia with Blazing Saddles is, did you know that they actually were going to have a TV show?
Oh, were they?
Based on it, because the movie was so popular, they shot a pilot. Okay, and it was only aired one time. It was called, the show wasn't called Blazing Saddles. The show was called Black Bart. and Louis Gossett Jr. was playing the Cleavon Little part.
What?
Okay.
Wow.
And you know who was playing the Gene Wilder Waco Kid part?
Oh.
Steve Landisberg.
Wow.
That's fucking Dietrich on Barney Miller.
Wow. Wow.
Picture that. One episode and it bombed and it just, it pulled it. Yep. And that was the end of it.
I can't imagine that.
How about Mongo?
Well, Mongo was Alex Karras.
A football player, right?
Yeah, I mean, what did he go on to? Webster,
yeah.
There you go. I used to laugh. I'd be like, "That's Mongo."
Mongo, yeah.
Yeah.
He
got that iconic scene where he just grabs and knocks out the horse. It's like,
well, you know what? Yeah, that was one of the most talked about scenes in the whole movie. Is when he knocks out the horse.
Punches the horse out. Yep.
I wonder how they did that because they didn't have CGI back then.
No, horses were trained to fall down and do stuff.
Horses were trained to take a punch.
Horses were trained to take a punch. You know what? That was in the day. Back in my day. Not like these namby-pamby horses these days.
Yeah, these sissy horses out there now.
Sissy horses.
CGI horses.
Yeah.
You know what, to me, the other funny scene is?
Yeah.
When Marion can't stop fucking the sheriff, and she goes, "Ooh, it's true.
There was, you know what, in the original script, when it was dark,
yeah,
he was supposed to say to her, something like, it was dark, you don't see them, and he was supposed to say something like, "I don't mean to disappoint you, but you're sucking on my arm." But they took it out because it was, too much.
Now we're going too far.
That's my arm, baby.
Which, I mean, that's great because it would have, she's looking for a big one and, gets the arm. That's funny.
Well, that's what I love about Mel Brooks, and that he takes he makes fun of not fun of stereotypes, but makes fun of how people react to stereotypes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And I think that's the humor of the film itself.
Right.
It's not making fun of the stereotypical thing, but how people react. I mean, the thing that's funny are the townspeople who react, this way.
Well, it's true satire because you have. It's kind of like the way All in the Family was.
Right.
Okay. Archie was a dummy. Okay. Right. And he, he would say things that were racist. He didn't even realize what he was saying. Okay. Yeah. But in the end, he would learn his lesson.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. We're not laughing at the racist thing he's saying. We're laughing at him for saying them.
For saying it. Right. And with Blazing Saddles and movies like that, the dummies you're laughing at what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? And the townfolk people are stupid, okay? And the bad guys are stupid. Right. And who are the smart ones? Gene Wilder and Cleavon Little. They're the good guys.
How about the lady that gives him a pie? Don't tell them I gave him this pie.
Don't tell them
Don't tell him the pie. This is the pie for him. I won't tell her. Then she just yelled at him. She said, "Fuck you, blah blah blah."
Now let me ask you guys. Let me ask you guys now. If there's anything to be critical about Blazing Saddles that I'm not saying I would agree with, because I don't think there's really anything wrong with the movie, but the one part that people I've ever heard criticize the film is the ending.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you think of that?
No fucking Irish. And I'm saying it in a nice way.
Like I think that they didn't know how to end that flick, so they just went off the wall.
I think it is so typical Mel Brooks style ending.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Let's just throw it all out there. Let's just go. Now we're in a studio and we're gonna go. And of course, there's gonna be some Nazis. There's gonna be
Dom DeLuise.
Dom DeLuise and his French guys.
Yeah. And what is it with Mel Brooks and synchronized swimming? Okay, he's always got somebody doing this. It's like.
In History of the World, he had Hitler on ice.
Right, and also History of the World in the Spanish Inquisition scene. There's the nuns doing the synchronized swimming.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, that movie is 4 stars. No matter how many times you see, you never get sick of it.
Oh, never. It's one of the best movies ever because there's so much, and if you rewatch it over, it's like almost like watching Airplane. If you didn't watch Airplane over, that had so much stuff. It was fantastic.
Right, the jokes are just coming like this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
watched that recently too, and it's 40 years later. It still cracks me up.
It's not Hitty, it's Italy.
When Mrs. Cleveland was talking jive,
oh yeah,
I think jive. It's like, oh shit.
Don't call me Shirley.
Great was that?
Don't call me Shirley.
Oh my God, fantastic.
We have to take her to the hospital. The hospital, what is it? Well, it's a building with really sick.
Fantastic.
Amazing. All right, so let's move over to the next film that we're going to discuss a little bit. This is called Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and like we said in the beginning, it's really the second film. Okay, right after, and now for something completely different.
Right.
Yeah,
but it was their first real
movie
narrative film.
Right.
And they really had no idea what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah.
So
they didn't.
So they had 2 directors.
Right.
The 2 Terrys.
Yep.
Who both had very different styles, and
Well, I don't know. They had no. I wouldn't say they had any style. They hadn't directed anything. I mean, it was Terry Jones and Terry Gilliam.
They had a TV show, a sketch.
That's
comedy.
it. And
they're like,
they weren't used to. But they did it like they did it so off the cuff.
Right.
They just went out there. They filmed it mostly in Scotland.
Right.
Okay, because there's a lot of castles in Scotland that they could use.
Right.
And interestingly enough, they had a budget of about $400,000 to make this movie. Right. But you know who put up money for the movie?
You know who put up money for
it? Go ahead.
Go ahead. Led Zeppelin.
Right.
And
Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd,
and
Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull, the singer from Jethro Tull.
And you know what they loved about that? They're like, you know what? The money's being put up by rock and roll people who have no interest in being part of the creative part. So they're like, this is perfect. We're just getting the money, and we don't have to worry about someone coming in saying.
But do you know what the reasoning behind it was? It wasn't because they wanted to see a great Monty Python movie. It wasn't. The reason these guys invested is because it was a good way to hide money from the taxes. Because in those days, England was like, when you reached a certain level, you were taxed like 90%.
Right on.
So they were able to somehow keep their money if they invested in a movie.
That's so great.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Very well worth it.
Very well worth it. So, like I said, $400,000 to make this movie. It ended up grossing $5 million.
Right.
That's pretty good, man.
And over the years, I have no idea how much it's made. It's made a ton of money over the years. I think it's a kind of strange movie in the sense that it started out as a cult movie. I think. Would you agree, Scott?
Yeah,
it was a cult movie. It had a cult following.
Right, but now, I guess 45 years later, because it came out in April of '75, so it's 46 years later. I think it's mainstream, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, just because of the generations that have grown up with it.
Yeah.
I mean, in my day, it was like this was the nerd film.
Right. No, you're right.
This was how you knew who was a true nerd if they could quote.
I was, it's funny. I remember when I first any kind of British comedy. Okay, the three things that were British that I grew up with that were definitely nerdy was Benny Hill, Monty Python, and fucking Doctor Who. Okay, and they were all on public television, Channel 13 or whatever. Well, Benny Hill was on Channel 9 at night. But I had friends that we would call each other up like after and like just talk about what we just watched and everything.
Oh yeah, I mean every Monday going back to school, nerd friends would talk about. We talk about two things: Saturday Night Live and what was the Monty Python.
What was on Monty Python?
And we just wrap off quotes.
One thing that I think a lot of people don't give enough credit with this film is the animation by Terry Gilliam. Okay. Hilarious. I mean, all the animation in Monty Python is hilarious.
Right. He did that all through the TV show.
Yeah,
and this was his thing.
I remember people saying to me, why do you like this? It's like I don't get it. I don't understand it. And I'm like, what don't you understand? It's like every other joke's a fart joke or like what?
It's comedy.
It's comedy. What don't you get about that? Because they got an English accent. You got a problem with that? I don't know.
Well, interesting enough,
that was then.
His style of animation actually became, you start to see it in other things. Not just what he was doing, but you'd see this style of like cut out animation. That became kind of a thing you'd see a lot in the '60s and '70s. You see it like like the Beatles animation stuff,
very similar. Very good point. Yeah,
Peter Max kind of stuff, where you just take a lot of cutout and
put it, all posted on different things. I got you.
You know what felt bad in this movie?
Who?
The Black Knight.
Oh, why? He only got a flesh wound. That was it.
Fucking guy got chopped up.
I mean, how much does that scene get quoted, right?
That's a great scene.
One of the most quoted scenes.
It's gotta be. It's just a flesh wound.
The opening scene, bring out your dead. Bring out your
No,
dead.
the opening scene, Rob, is it's you don't see anything, and then you see some smoke, and you hear like a horse's hooves coming in the background, getting closer, and then you just see fucking Graham Chapman pretending to be on a horse, and they got a coconut they're banging together to make it sound like a horse. Like, who thinks of that? That's pure genius, man.
And then they just go into a whole thing about the swallows and carrying coconuts.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. This is why I talk about this being great nerd humor.
Yeah.
And that is the core group of Monty Python were very, very highly and well educated. I mean, these are Oxford educated people.
Right.
And their comedy is so sophisticated in that sort of way, even though it's ridiculously silly.
It is.
There's also a sophistication to it.
Absolutely.
Because that's what makes it even sillier.
Yeah.
Is that sophistication. And
I mean, they're talking about a bird, a swallow, carrying a coconut while it's migrating from Africa to Europe.
But is it an African or a European?
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Coconut are delicious.
And it's just so ridiculous because they're like, and here is King Arthur on his quest to find the Holy Grail, and now he's just caught up in this conversation about swallows carrying coconuts.
And I love when he keeps saying, "I'm Arthur, King of the Britons." The people are like, who are the Britons? We're the Britons.
Right, and there's that whole conversation where they get into like the politics of
Right. Eric Idle. Eric Idle is talking about how they're oppressed and they live in a commune and everybody gets a chance to lead the commune. Yeah, it's hilarious, man.
They get a whole conversation about certain societal politics, and it's just like, and it's just so silly but very sophisticated at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. So another movie that you could see it 50 times, it still cracks you up. And also, like Blazing Saddles, I think if you could criticize anything, it's maybe the end. Because I read that they actually didn't know how to end this movie. So they said, okay, just have King Arthur get arrested.
Yeah. That's the thing about both the films we're talking about tonight, is that they're non-ending endings.
Yeah, exactly. So another 4-star movie, and I want to get into the next part here. We're going to give some props out to I want to thank some people specifically that have been fantastic this year.
What award are you giving? 2 Rock Awards or just one?
Well, what we're going to do this year is we're going to change it. We always gave just one, okay? But this year we're going to start something new. We're going to have an Artist of the Year and a Group of the Year, okay? But before I do that, I want to thank a lot of people, all our followers for the whole year that have helped us out, particularly George Figueroa and Karen Matheson, Michael Sawaya, Dan Scott, other people that have been on the show, guests, everybody, we just appreciate this so much of you guys coming on and supporting us, everybody that's been involved.
And guys, for the New Year's, we got a big show coming out because we did some taping today, Mike. I'm exhausted from today.
No, I'm shot too.
Yeah, now we lost you there for a minute.
No, you didn't hear what I said?
What?
Well, you didn't hear us, Scott? Oh, you heard him.
The what?
Oh, I don't know. Never mind.
No, I said that we went out today. We've been filming a lot of things today.
Yeah. I mean,
we've been together all day, so there's a lot of shit coming in for the New Year.
Yeah, the Conspiracy 420 show is taking a big turn for the better, and I'll leave it at that. I won't give it away. You guys will see it real soon, starting in January. So let's talk about the best group of the year. Okay, and this is a band from Australia that has been around for about 5 years. They're called Amyl and the Sniffers.
Amyl and
the Sniffers.
What are they sniffing, glue?
I have no idea. Maybe. But they have an album. This is their second major release LP, long playing album. They had a couple of EPs around 2016, 2017. But this is their second one. It's called Comfort to Me. And you got to hear this album. This is like some of the best punk rock I've heard in a long time. Okay.
Wow.
The lead singer is a girl named Amy, and they just got a great band. Song called Guided by Angels. They got a video for that. You can check it out. Song called Security, a song called Hurts. But then you got great titles like Don't Need a Cunt. Okay. It says, don't need a cunt like you to love me. That's in parentheses.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. They've been touring, I believe, in Europe and Australia. I guess I don't know what's going on in Australia with the lockdowns. And they were supposed to come here last month, or early December. They were supposed to be playing in Brooklyn, but that got canceled. And now they're coming to America in the spring. So check them out. Amyl and the Sniffers. The new album is called Comfort to Me. And I'm going to try my hardest to get these people on the show, Rob. Okay?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And now we got let's do a little drum roll. What is the solo artist of the year? Who do we got?
We have the legendary Mr. Sonny Vincent right here.
That's a fantastic album.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you.
Sonny's been around a long time, never disappoints, and he definitely has not here. This album, Snake Pit Therapy, you have to get it. We had him on, I think, at least 2 shows this year. And you just buy it. That's all I gotta say is buy it. If you like what we talk about on the Rock Show, if you're into just like straight hard-edged rock and roll, I'm not calling it punk. I'm not calling it anything heavy metal, none of that stuff. It's just straight up rock and roll music done the right way. Okay. Yep. And Sonny, he's been around a long time, but it's like the guy doesn't age. Yeah. And he actually came out with a book, kind of like a companion piece to this, called Snake Pit Therapy. And it's a book about, like, it's got poetry, but it's also got like certain memories with certain people, other musicians and stuff that he's worked with. Just check it out. Definitely the book is worth it, and the album, Snake Pit Therapy. So, and a big thanks to Sonny Vincent for coming on the show a couple of times, and he's always great. So we hope we can have him back soon.
Yeah, how many times did we have him this year?
We had him once solo, and I think we had him once with that girl Brooke, right, for the Johnny Thunders thing.
Yep.
Earlier in the year. And I don't remember if he was on one other time, but I've mentioned him a lot. We had a tribute, we had a record review also, of that, and so thank you, Sonny. So what do you say, Rob?
I don't know, man. What do you think? What are you looking forward? Let's start with Clown Con. What are you looking forward for 2022?
Being back on stage. That's what I'm looking. I had to cancel a couple of shows.
Damn.
Here, I've got a great show It's an awesome show. It's a sideshow cabaret, and I've got all these incredible sideshow performers and circus performers, and we were supposed to do our show at the end in December, but COVID came along and screwed us up again. So we're on pause mode, but it's coming. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I just want to get back on that stage because that's where I belong.
That's where you belong. Exactly.
I mean, look at me. Where else am I going to go?
I know. It's not like it's not like you could work at a bank, Scott. You know?
Yeah. So, Mike, what are you looking for 2022?
Oh, what am I looking forward to the most? Working with you, Rob. All right. Doing these podcasts is what I live for. Okay, and I put a lot into it. Rob puts a lot into it, and I just want to bring the best product that we could do. Okay, and I try to keep it interesting. I hope I'm good at that. I mean, the viewership's been increasing, and I'm really grateful for that. And so really, that's where my head's at right now for 2022. We've been doing it now 3 years, and it's just a slow burn, getting better and better.
You know what's the most incredible thing since we made some connection? Like, I gotta give a shout out to Carl. He's great, man.
Goldenaro. Yes.
Today we met Howie. Howie was fantastic.
Yep.
And I look for a great year and doing a bunch of shows. I would like to invite Scott Clown Con to do we should try to do like at least 3 movie reviews a year.
I'm all for it.
Okay.
I love doing movie reviews with you guys because
old school movie, and I think we should do Airplane next.
The Zucker brothers.
I have no problem with that. That's fine.
I think we should do Airplane and throw in like Airplane with I'm gonna pair it with something with Apocalypse Now.
They both got airplanes in it. Yeah.
It's got both airplanes, but Apocalypse Now, like freaking.
There's an airplane in there somewhere.
But Marlon Brando lost his goddamn mind in that movie.
Yeah.
Now, if we do Apocalypse Now, are we going to do the
Island of Dr. Moreau, which is
we can do
where the original Mini-Me came from.
Yes, exactly. That's true. That's true. And there's like 4 versions of that movie.
Yeah.
It's been remade a bunch of times.
It has been, man.
Yeah.
But that's a fantastic one. But we definitely got to do Airplane.
The Marlon Brando one.
We haven't done any Ed Wood yet.
Oh my God!
You're talking to
or make it interesting. We could do the movie Ed Wood with Johnny Depp.
Oh, that was a fantastic.
You can review that.
One of my favorites.
Airplane and do Ed Wood next.
Airplane and Ed Wood. In a couple of months, we'll do it.
We'll figure after in March.
Yeah.
Idea.
Sounds good.
I like these ideas.
And I would like, what we got to tackle for March? We got to talk about the Allman Brothers. As much as we have to talk about it. They used to have March Madness in the Beacon Theater. We're going to have to talk about the Allman Brothers, man.
Yeah, we will.
That whole band.
Okay, we could do a show on them.
But I think we should do it for March.
Okay, let's look at the schedule. We got a whole bunch.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck,
it might be April, but
April.
We'll see what happens.
We definitely got to do the Allman Brothers. Like,
yeah, we've kind of neglected them. We should do them.
I'm not doing Fish or fucking Jerry Garcia. They can go fuck themselves.
No, I could never. I would never do a show on the dead. Hell no. No way.
We just got rid of half of our family.
Yeah. Sorry, people.
I think we're all a little grateful.
Yeah. Scott, Clown, let me ask you. What would you like to hear us do musically?
Well, I mean, my favorite all-time band is the Cramps.
Well, I did a show on that already.
I know you already did, though. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, there's plenty more. Dead Kennedys. Have you done Dead Kennedys?
Oh, we did it there. Yeah.
They've probably done everything I can think of, but
what I could do is a making of the first Cramps album
Ooh,
with Alex Chilton at the helm.
Yeah.
Right on.
That would be interesting. There's a lot of info about that album being put together.
Right on.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that later in the year. Have you back.
I want to ask you a question. What's the difference between a baby and a bag of cocaine?
What?
Eric Clapton would have never dropped that bag of cocaine.
Cheers.
I was gonna say they're both delicious.
We would have never have to hear that shitty song, Tears in Heaven.
Oh,
that
God.
That shit was a miserable fucking song. I had to hear this song for... am I a horrible human being for saying that? Yes,
yeah, you're a horrible human
being. Yeah, but, you know...
It's okay. I love you anyway.
It's kind of your thing.
You know, I can see that Joe getting us 30 days.
You're going to get it. I think YouTube just turned us off.
I've heard way worse out of you, so... You know.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
He's not even lumped up. Wait till he gets lumped up.
Oh, I'm pretty... you know what? I'm just exhausted, man. We had a long day, man. We've been up since 6 in the morning. We were videotaping all over Forest Hill and Brooklyn. We got a nice treat for you people for the new year. We're doing a bunch of episodic episodes and I'm gonna throw it out here. We're doing the Son of Sam Chronicles. It's gonna be like a series, 6-7 episodes.
Yep.
And we'll do it from different places. And I hope you people watch.
And it's featuring Son of Sam shooter survivor called Denaro, who was involved in the second shooting back in 1976. So, you know, it's great. It was great to see him, you know, today and talking about all that stuff and filming everything. So, fantastic.
What the hell is that?
That is my dog.
Bear Wolf.
Yep.
What? Wolf.
Are you putting it in the pan?
I just put it in the washing machine. Somebody's at my door and she's going ape shit like she always does.
That's what it is. That's a good protector.
Oh yeah, she can't even. She goes to bite you. It doesn't even hurt. There's nothing that dog could do.
So, Mike, let's end this show on a high note. I'd like to thank Clown Con. Jesus Christ.
Clown Con.
Sonny Vincent, Blazing Saddle, and the Holy Grail for some great entertainment today, guys.
And Amel and the Sniffers. Check that album out. Yes.
I kind of want to hang out with Amel and the Sniffer and see what they really sniff.
I'm going to try to get them on the show. I've reached out to them already.
Smells great.
Smells great.
So guys, to everybody out there, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Proper New Year. We will be back and we'll see you next year. Clown, I hope you have a great new year of getting new baby's blood because Maxine is going to jail for a few years. She might not be able to get you the baby's blood now.
Well, it would be the first time.
He's got a supply stash somewhere.
Oh, a supply. Mike, man, God bless you. I hope you have a great year too. Let's continue what we're doing. I think we're reaching a place that we had 125 views on our YouTube altogether.
Yeah,
and 125,000. Yeah, 125,000 views.
We're like 25.
Yeah,
hey, we broke the 144 in the United States this year for the first time, which was fantastic. We broke the British. We've been in the British one, so we're bringing numbers. And we're trying to keep this thing going. And the one thing you guys need to do is subscribe to the channel. The most subscribers we get.
YouTube Getting Lumped Up channel.
Yeah, Getting Lumped Up. And I actually got the name now. So if you tag Getting Lumped Up YouTube, it's going to take you right to the channel. And we got over 300 shows on YouTube. So you can watch one of the many shows. We got a bunch of rock show. We got the Freak Show. We got the Rock and Mike and Rob Presents. And we got a load of shows. So, guys, for the New Year's, we'll be coming out with many new shows. We're going to try to keep everything fresh. We're going to figure out things to talk about. Starting January 3rd, the Giants series, a 3-part on Giants starts. And that will be every other week. You will get an episode of the Giants for the conspiracy theory. And then we're going to start the Son of Sam Chronicles. And every 2 weeks, you're going to get a Rockshow or a Son of Sam Chronicle.
Right. We'll see how long that goes.
Yeah.
Should be good. Okay, so what do we always say?
Don't get drunk.
Get lumped up.
See you next time.
Take care,
and
people.
To all you son of a bitches, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!